What? Live now. A lot of wind. Mike, fucking Matthew's on about stuff. Is he still there? Hello? What the hell? Yeah, he's still going. Anyone on with me? What is he on about, one? No, I promise you no. Nobody there. What the fuck is he doing? He's pulling boxes and shit? What is Matt doing over there?
That's the box of bullshit I've had for the last 3 months.
Oh my god.
Going to get rid of
I put the sound down a little bit so we can see what's happening. Too late now. Who's watching me? Nobody. Okay, I'm gonna give it like 10 minutes, and if people show up, we'll keep going. If they don't show up, I'm gonna bail. It's as simple as that. It's pretty late over here tonight. It's like, what time is it? Well, it's not that late. It's only, hey, Jason Podmore, the man, the myth, the legend. There he is. Good morning. How are you? I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I want you to answer them immediately. I'm a copy idiot. Matt is still babbling here. I'm looking at Matt's channel right now. He's still going on and on about something. Can you believe it? I was trying to get onto that fucking live stream for like an hour. Like an hour I was trying to get on there to yap to you guys, but it wasn't fucking happening. I emailed him. I messaged him on Facebook Messenger. I texted him on his phone. I messaged in the chat. Nothing. So he must have been severely inebriated, dear boy. Yes, severely inebriated. A few more beers, 5 sheets to the wind, and all that crazy shit. How's everyone doing, by the way? I have to say, Matt's Secret Vault. The discussion that was had this evening was phenomenal. Really enjoyed it. Jason Podmore, he's on here right now. I didn't know he was. He said pod. Fascinating. Thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. I wish I'd been a part of it. I wish I could have jumped in there with Matt and started yapping. But 'twas not to be, dear boy. I kept trying over and over again, but it wasn't happening. So I figured I would try my own here. Let's see. Jason, lighter weight, though. He did a bottle of Jack. I noticed that. Jason, man, what the fuck? You drank a whole bottle of Jack Daniels? Are you mental? You're going to be in a coma or something. You know, it's crazy. He's like Shoe Nice. You ever seen that guy on YouTube, Shoe Nice, who like he chugs bottles of alcohol, just gone like that. It's we have to sort of a chat. Yes, absolutely. Who else is on here? Let me check the thing. See how many people are watching. What we got here? Wow, record, man. We got 4 people watching. We have 4 people watching. Well, I'm here in LA, in Los Angeles, California, and it is now 9:47 p.m. I've had a long day at work. I came home, I switched on the computer, and there was Matt yapping away to you guys. And I thought the conversation was going so well, I thought I'm going to have to hop on here and start talking to you guys. But it just wouldn't happen. I tried everything to get in there. But it was not to be, dear boy. It was not to be. I think, what did he say? I think it's better when the jack's in effect. Oh, okay. The jack is in effect. Very good, Jason. You're chugging like a mofo. Let me see here. Is he still on? Is Matt still on? I think Matt is still on, but he's like rearranging his room for some reason. He's got a million things in here. You ever seen that show Hoarders, where people like hoard stuff? I get the vibe that maybe that's. Let's see. I'm gonna message in his chat. See if I can get some more people over here and we get a conversation going. Come on over to the Mindset Central channel. Conversation is continuing. There you go. Let's see if we can get a couple more people in here. I see, what's we got? Francis Rowland says, I see you kept trying Mindset. Yes, Francis, I did. I tried on multiple occasions to get in on that amazing conversation that was going on. But unfortunately, it was not to be. Okay, Matt is now in bed. He's going to sleep, I guess, looking at his stream here. It's amazing. How many of you guys are in the UK? I know Jason Podmore is in the UK. Anyone else in the UK? Francis, are you in the UK? Okay, he's stopping the stream right now. He's ending it. He's gonna hit the button. He's gonna bail. Where's his mouse? There you go. Farewell. And he's gone. And Matt is, well, no, he's not. He's still there. Oh, there you go. He's still, okay, now he's gone. The stream is over. It's just me ranting or talking or whatever the case may be. I have 5 people watching. Francis is in the UK. Whoa. Let me turn that sound off there. There you go. So, whether you guys might not know this, but I'm originally from the UK. Born and raised, dear boy. Yeah, I was born and raised in the UK, in South Wales. And, yeah, man, I was pissed. I couldn't fucking believe it. I mean, I've known Matt for a long time. And we know each other. It's not like I'm some fucking stranger out of the blue trying to ping him and say, hey, let me into your chat, please. I know the guy. I texted him on his phone. I messaged him in the chat box on the screen. I was on the Facebook. Hey, dude, what the fuck? What's the link? So I can come. Crickets. I can only assume that he had consumed way too much alcohol, and he was yeah, man, yeah, Tron fan, nice. I'm glad, Jason, man, you're on the ball, dude. Yeah, Flynn's Arcade, dude. Yeah, nice to Tron. Yeah, I love Tron. It's a great movie. I even like the sequel. What's up with that? Tron. I even like was it Tron Legacy? Was that what it's called? I can't remember. But yeah, Tron fan as well. But yeah, I tried everything to get in on Matt, to get in on that conversation, because it really, really was a phenomenal conversation. So I got 5 people in the chat, which is not that great, let's be honest. So let's give it a few more minutes, see if anyone else joins. If not, I would have to bid you guys a fond farewell, because there's only so much I can talk about. Do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Yeah, he really doesn't read the chat. Thank you, Donna. Yes, you're absolutely right. He does not. He's too busy guzzling booze and yapping about quantum physics to you mental cases to read the chat and see me messaging him every 3 seconds like, dude, what the fuck? Get me in the fucking chat room. What's the matter with you guys? Come on, Matt. Throw me a freaking bone here. But do not to be. Are you guys up real late? In the UK, it's probably, what is it? Let me see. It's 5:52 a.m. in the UK, if my calculations are correct. Here in Los Angeles right now, it is 9:53 p.m. So it's still Thursday here. You guys are almost in the weekend. It's almost Friday, then Saturday, and the next thing you know, you're partying it up, running to the pub. Hey, are the pubs open yet? Did they open the pubs in the UK? What's going on over there? I heard that everything was shut down, and then a certain weekend they were going to flip the switch, and the pubs were open, and everyone was going to lose their shit and run into the pubs and have a great old time. Jasper from Germany. Hey, Jasper, nice to see you. Nice to say hello. Hello, Jasper. Thank you for joining. Jason says sleep is for the weak. Sleep is for the one that I guess I'm weak, because I really enjoy my sleep. Jamie's in Arizona. 9:53 in Arizona. There you go. About this, we're in the same time zone. Arizona and California, because we change for like, what's it called? It's the springtime, or I can't think of the name of it. We change. We go an hour back and an hour forward, but Arizona just stays solid. This is the time. Like it or leave it. Boom. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. I wish they would change that everywhere, so we could just have that the same time. None of this daylight savings bullshit and all this stuff. If it was just solid time the whole year round, I think that'd be great. So Donna, I'm sorry, Jamie in Arizona, you lucked out. You deal with that over there. 9:53. It's 9:53 over here. Who else we got on here? Let's see. What else? Up to 7 people. Man, look at this. Things are looking up. 7 people. As I was saying earlier, I'm originally from the United Kingdom. I lived the first... Whoa, hey, take it easy. The first half of my life in the UK, in Wales. I'm Welsh. And then in the early 1990s, I moved to Los Angeles, California, and I've been here ever since. That's not to say that I haven't traveled back to the United Kingdom on many, many occasions, because it's true that I have. In fact, I was just back there in November 2019. And during that, I hung out with Matt. We went out and we had a few beers together, me and the secret vault guy himself, Matthew Williams, yes, from Wales, lovely. We went and hung out and had a few beers back in November, which was a lot of fun. Do I miss the UK? That's a tough one, Jason. I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't say yes. I remember when I first moved to the US, I did miss the UK. I think I went through a lot of like a cultural kind of change, where I was very homesick for maybe a year, maybe 18 months of being here. I was very, very homesick, and I missed Wales. I missed the UK. I missed the British Isles. But after about 18 months, I quickly forgot about that shit. and got with the program, and I've been here ever since. The first thing I didn't miss was the weather, but now I kind of do miss it, because here in California every day is hot and sunny. I really miss the overcast, cloudy, drizzle, rain. What you don't have, you miss it, right? You miss what you miss it. So I kind of do, but I understand that if I was back over there, I'd be like, you know what, fuck this. I'm tired of this rain bullshit. But I do miss it now that I'm over here. And every time I do go back home to the UK, it's always a pleasure to get some real weather, because there really isn't any real weather here in California, and I'm sure. Who was it? Jamie in Arizona. I think you can relate, except Arizona is the same thing, but they bump it up a level heat-wise. It's significantly hotter in Arizona than it is in California. But I think you can probably relate. There's no real seasons. It's just hot, and more hot. Jason says, yeah, it's weird how everyone wants the sun when it's all their way. They want the rain. That's true. It's totally true, man. It's totally true. It's like if you're in a country where the weather is shit, where it's cloudy and raining all the time, you long for the sun. You pine for hot weather. And vice versa, right? If you're in a country where it's 100 degrees every day, you long for the drizzle and the wind and the cloudy, overcast days. Those blissful days in the fall and in the winter when you do get those wonderful times. Jamie says that it was 111. Holy shit. 111 degrees, and now it's 100. That's brutal. Today here in LA, I think it got to like maybe 87. It was 87 degrees today, which is hot. But compared to 111, that's a walk in the park on a Sunday afternoon. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. Yeah, it was rough today. But then again, I was in an air-conditioned room and it was nice and cool, so you don't really notice it. I only noticed it when I walked I walked outside to get into my car, and I'm like, holy shit. But 111, man, that's woo. That's hard. Let's see who we got here. We get Donna. Says, sea all around my island, British Isles, not the UK though. Well, Donna, where are you from? If you're not from the UK and you're sea all around the island, where you at, Donna? Where you at? Yeah, Donna, where are you? Jason's not a stalker, by the way. He's not going to put the lotion in the basket. The sea is at the bottom of my road, about 100 meters away, says Francis. Can I phone a friend? Is there a multiple choice here? I mean, how does this work? How do we get this going so we get some answers here? Because we're playing the Isle of Man. Oh, that's very un-PC. Is it the Isle of White Man? Oh my gosh, can you imagine? There'd be riots in the street. Holy shit. Oh, you get to see the bikes then. Ooh, misses. Can I bring anyone on there? I can bring someone on. Any of you on Skype? Are any of you on Skype that I can bring someone in on a conversation? If you're on Skype, I can bring you in because I'm not running that Zoom shit, that Chinese manufactured Zoom nonsense. But if you have a Skype account and you want to come on and chat with me, we can make that happen. Let me know. We can get the wheels rolling here. Anyone on Skype with a camera? The Isle of Sheppey. Is that like a real place? I don't even know if that's a real place. Francis, is that a real place? The Isle of Sheppey? I've never heard of that place. Is that like is that from like the Harry Potter or something, or the Lord of the Rings? Bilbo, we are from the Isle of Sheppey. Quickly, get Gandalf. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that isle. He's jealous. What's he jealous of, I wonder? Oh, here's a question. Can you see these things right here on my desk? 10 points if you can tell me what this is. Anybody? Bueller? Come on. What is this? Anyone tell me? Wow. You guys did not grow up in the 1990s, I take it. You are children of the 2000s, or maybe the 80s or the 70s or I don't know. You tell me. You don't know what this is? So many cool places here. I want to go off the grid eventually. I want to put fully grid and become a ghost. Well, Jason, I hate to break it to you. One day that will be Minidisc. Yes, of course. Yes, the Minidisc. The Minidisc. Yes. Jason, you were talking. You were talking earlier about the internet following your every move, scanning your every aspect of your being. Well, when you listen to music, if you go into Apple Music or Spotify or insert streaming service here, you're absolutely right. But if you listen to music on this, ain't nobody tracking nobody. Just think about that for a second. By the way, I've got a VHS collection too. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding. But still, I'm not watching it. As you can see behind me, I have a vast collection of physical media, just to avoid the prying eyes of the powers that be, so to speak. If you had a floppy disk, I would be impressed by that. Is that some double entendre there? What's going on? I do have a box of floppy disks around here somewhere, but I'm not going to get up and grab them. In fact, the only way to securely communicate over the internet is going to be by using 8-bit and 16-bit machines. So if you have an old retro computer sitting in your attic or your basement just gathering dust, if you could grab that and hook it up to the Wi-Fi, that's the perfect way for future communications, because there's no way to track or to monitor. What do you think? Come on, Jason. I know you got an opinion on this. Let's have it. Throw me a freaking bone here, people. Anyone on Skype? Anyone want to join me? Anyone want to come in and have a real conversation? No? Hey, we're up to 8 people now. Holy shit, things are looking up. Man. 8 people chatting on this thing. This is interesting. Okay, so Donna, Winnie the Witch, she says a ZX spectrum. Notice I said ZX, but it's actually ZX. Am I wrong? It's a ZX spectrum. But here in the US, we call it a ZX. It was actually a Timex machine over here, I think. Quantum entanglement pairs the future of encryption. I say, old boy. Yeah, that's very true. All encryption that currently exists is probably already broken due to quantum computers, unfortunately. Yeah. The thing is, though, with as I said, 8-bit and 16-bit machines, you'll be able to communicate effectively, not because you can encrypt, because the encryption can be broken like that, but you can communicate because they cannot track you. Right? There's no if you have an 8-bit, if you're like a Commodore Amiga or a Commodore 64, or let me throw some UK computers in here, a BBC Micro, right? An Acorn BBC Micro. Remember those things? If you had one of those, there's no way to cookie your computer, to track your machine. There's no way to install malware or any tracking software. So for communication needs, those kind of machines, even though they're completely obsolete and completely out of date, if you can find a way to connect those to the network via Wi-Fi or Ethernet or TCP, then you have a pretty foolproof way of communicating today and moving forward. Acorn Electron, look at that, Donna, with the Acorn Electron, absolutely. So let me tell you what I did about maybe 5 years ago. I purchased a BBC Micro Model B and a BBC Master 128, and I have them over here. They're in boxes. I only hooked them up like 3 times, and they were a pain in the ass, so I put them back in their boxes. But I have them over here in LA. I need power converters to convert from the 220 volts to the 110. And then I bought an RGB to SCART, and then I bought a SCART mod, because SCART was never big over here. I know in the UK in the 90s, the default connector to connect to TVs was like a SCART connector. In the US, nobody knew what the fuck a SCART was. If you went into an electronics store and say, I want a TV with a SCART connector, they'd look at you like you're a fucking mental patient. It didn't happen over here. So I purchased like a 14-inch TV from eBay, which was like a multi-standard TV, which was PAL and NTSC, and it had a SCART connector on the back, so I can use that TV with the BBC Micro, with the Model B or the Master system. I have them, number one, because I love computers, and number two, because it's a foolproof future way of communication, right? Because we're moving into an era, or an era. We're moving into an era, dear boy, where communication, not to say that it isn't already happening, but every aspect of your interaction with the internet or electronics is monitored and harvested. But when you throw into that mix an obsolete piece of technology, like a BBC Micro or a Commodore 64 or a Commodore Amiga or a ZX Spectrum or whatever, if you throw one of those pieces of technology into the mix and you're able to connect that to your network, which you can, there's many adapters which you can plug into the user port and connect it to the Wi-Fi of your house, or even an Ethernet port. You can get it via TCAP to work. At that point, you're adding into the mix an untraceable form of communication onto the network. You see what you guys missed out with not bringing me into this dopey conversation that you had with fucking Matt earlier on? You see what you're missing out with? Come on, please. Throw me a freaking bone here. How many we got? We got 8 people. Still 8 people. Nobody else? Matt had like 50,000 people on his chat. Well, maybe not that. I think he had like 80 people on his chat. But then again, those 80 people were all probably in the UK, and they're all probably tucked up in bed right now, fast asleep, dreaming dreams and counting sheep and all manner of nasty stuff, if you know what I mean. I'm going to say it again. Anybody on Skype that wants to join me, I can bring you in magically. Going once. Going twice. Okay, all right, excellent. What else do I have here? Oh, well, speaking of mini discs, here you go. You remember this? Anyone remember these things? This is a mini disc recorder. So I purchased this back in, what's the best time to visit here? I'm not sure what you mean, Jason. What do you mean by the best time to visit here? Could you kind of elaborate on what you mean by that? Like the best time to visit Mindset Central? The best time is anytime. Anytime you guys want to come by, come on by. I usually do a live stream every Monday night with the guys from Nocturnal Frequency Radio, where we discuss all aspects of the paranormal. But I also do a podcast every Sunday when, and this is an audio podcast, MP3, RSS feed, traditional standard stuff. I do that every Sunday where we discuss, you name it, everything. This coming Sunday, scheduled to be on the show, is Matthew Williams. Matthew's going to be on the show, along with Ben Emlyn Jones. Any of you guys know Ben Emlyn Jones? Any familiar for Paranormal Radio? Anyone familiar with Ben? Ben is extremely knowledgeable, a good friend of mine, and always a pleasure to talk to. And he'll be on the show this Sunday also. So this Sunday we should have a great show with Matt and Ben. We're going to talk about, all the madness that engulfs the planet, all the craziness that continually rolls out onto the streets. And we switch on the TV and get engulfed by the mainstream media. Hey, let me ask you, I just thought a thought. We're in the midst of this pandemic, this COVID-19 deal. And I want the people that are watching me right now, I want you to answer in the chat truthfully and honestly, okay? I want you to answer from the heart, from your soul, from your very essence. I want you to answer honestly. Were it not for the news and the television and the newspapers and the internet and all this media that keeps telling you that COVID-19 is a real thing, were it not for all that stuff, would you know that it existed? Can you answer that question, please? I'll play the Jeopardy music. No? Anybody? Bueller? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying the virus doesn't exist. I'm sure it does. But I have a strong feeling that we're being manipulated in some form or fashion. that strings are being pulled. You know what I mean? Pork and Chops 26. What's happening? What's happening, mate? All right? How's it going? No, Francis Rowland, no. There's one. Look at that. No. He says no. Yes, yes. Very good. Francis, that's a no. I like that. I like that. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, hey, we got a Lucifer TV. Lucifer TV says, hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. Jason says, yes, yes. I have a family that work in respiratory, so it's very real for us. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Out of the whole experience, I know of Pork and Chops. Pork and Chops says the virus is real because people are dying cause of it. Okay, all right. But I know of one person that's been affected. Oh, look, we got more people. Jamie L. Yes, I have friends and family. I'm sorry to hear that, Jamie. Really, I'm deeply sorry to hear if you have friends and family that are close to you that have passed on due to COVID-19. I'm very sorry to hear that, and I hope you're hanging in there. And moving forward as best you can. That's not cool. That's messed up. And Lucifer TV, which is a great name, by the way. It reminds me of Mike TV from Willy Wonka and the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But anyway, it says I have to be wary because chronic brittle asthma. Left to my own advice, I'm more inclined to believe that 5G. Oh, we got a 5G believer here. 5G, all right. And Francis Rowland says, even if people die, they're putting the cause. Now, see, Francis here is using the technical term that I like to say, hitting the nail on the head. This has been happening a lot in the United States because there's been a federal government grant to many hospitals where every person that dies of COVID-19, they get like $30,000. So if somebody dies in a car wreck, but they have COVID-19, they check the box. Cha-ching! $30,000. Let's have it. So the cause of death was the car wreck, but when they do the blood test or whatever and it says, oh, they have COVID-19, then that becomes the cause of death, even though the cause of death was actually the car wreck. And they do this because payday, cha-ching, make some money. So that's not to say that COVID-19 does not exist. I'm not saying that whatsoever. What I am saying is that sometimes the making of money outweighs the factual reality of what's really going on. That's what it appears to me. Jason Podmore says, at Francis Rowland, you have to bear in mind, though, that if you're hit by a truck and you bleed to death, the cause of the death is... Yeah, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Jamie L., thank you, Mindset. You're quite welcome, Jamie. Anybody who loses a loved one, whether through COVID or anything else, it's a horrible experience. And my sympathies go out to you. It's terrible. To lose somebody that you know and love is not cool. It's very, very hurtful, and so on. Anyone want to join me on Skype for like the fourth time? You know, I can only ask so much. I can only beg so much for you mother effers to fire up Skype and say, yeah, I'm available, so I can bring you in. And we can see each other and chat and broadcast and so on. Let me show you my mug. Have you seen this mug? This is my coffee mug. This is a Jack Skeleton mug. You see that? Look at that. You ever seen one of these before? It's great, huh? Every morning I'm here like a mental case, drinking coffee like a retard. I don't know what else to show you. I'm running out of topics here. So give me something I can discuss. Give me a topic or something that I can lock onto and spew my mental. Here's another Minidisc player. I don't know. You see, I have quite a collection of Minidisc players. I love Minidisc, by the way. Jason, sorry, we've lost people. Stay totally. Oh, have you guys been in total lockdown? Have you gone out at all? Are you like completely stuck in the house 24/7? How is that working out for you? I'm sure you go to like the grocery store or to like the market to get like bread and milk and other things that you need to survive. But if you're in the house like 90-95% of the time, how are you handling that? Are you starting to like lose your shit, or are you holding it together rather nicely? I know that many people who are introverts from the get-go, nothing has changed, right? If you're not a people person and you hang out at home all the time, you don't like to go out and deal with the nonsense of humans. This pandemic is like, right, what's changed? Nothing. Right, I stay home, watch TV, I'm on the computer, I listen to music, I drink beer, smoke cigarettes, whatever, but hanging out, going outside and interacting with my fellow humans is not my favorite thing to do. Let's see, Jason says, all family are preppers, so isolation protocols kicked in. Isolation protocols activated, self-destruct systems in 3, 2, 1. And then he says, nope, the shops, no going out, all delivered, then put in an ozone container. Very good. Also, Aspie, so I like my own company. Yeah, I know what you mean. I like my own company more than anybody else, is true. Jasper says, I had a Minidisc radio in my Ford Fiesta around 99. Yeah, man. I think people in general, if you love music, we need to get back into Minidisc. Just to stop those motherfuckers from surveilling our habits. If you if you want to listen to the Backstreet Boys on the down low, you should be able to do that without Spotify or Apple Music or insert streaming company here knowing about it. You know what I mean? He also has 2 sharp portables. Awesome. So, H. Jasper E., all I can say to you is go to the attic, go to the basement, dig those out of storage, get on eBay, buy some blank discs, record some tunes on it, and get rocking. Jamie L., yes, we've stayed locked down and do not go anywhere. I'm Navajo, and I have a family and friend who lives on the reservation. That's fucked up. That's not cool. It's so hard, man. It's Lucifer TV, like Mike TV from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We don't take that the wrong way. I just think it's a humorous name. I've technically already died 3 times, so not to worry for myself as much for others, as we are coming out of lockdown. Now the pubs are out, but you know what I mean. We can go on the 2. Yeah, how are you guys dealing without the pubs? When I moved to the United States, one of the main things that I missed really, really badly was the pub vibe. You know what I mean? Like going out on a Friday or a Saturday night with your friends, going to the pub, having a few beers, talking a bunch of bullshit. That was so much fun. And when I moved to the United States, that kind of it all went away. Bye. See ya, pubs. It was gone. And I missed that terribly. Oh, we got some Minidisc conversation going on here. Let's see. Didn't Minidisc have their own lossless encoding? Yes, Jason, they did. It's called A-Track. The last version of A-Track was A-Track R or A-Track 3 that came out in 2002. I think that was the last revision of the codec. And I have to say, it does sound spectacularly good. Recently, I've been downloading some HD music tracks, some high resolution music, and copying that over to Minidisc, and it sounds superb. So get nostalgic, dig into the past to find the future, if you can. Let's see, it's called A-Track. Yeah, there you go, A-Track. I don't know the capacity. So the capacity is, what do we have here? This is an 80-minute. This is an 80-minute disc. So in standard play, which is the highest resolution, on a disc like this, you would get 80 minutes of high resolution audio on this disc. 80 minutes in standard. But you also have two other settings, which is LP2 and LP4, which would double the recording length and then quadruple it. And obviously, by doing that, you would lose audio quality. So if audio quality is a premium to you and you want something that sounds phenomenal on Minidisc, you're going to want to stick to the SP, the standard play. That gives you the best sound quality. But if you're recording like somebody talking or a radio show where you don't need that high fidelity sound, but you just want a good quality audio, like a lecture, or you record Coast to Coast AM or something, then you can bump it to LP2 or LP4. You can get literally like 6-7 hours of audio on this disc, but you do lose the quality. But yeah, man, it's the best, baby. I love it. It's really cool. H. Jasper E says 1-to-1. I'm not sure what that means, but please elaborate if you can. Oh, there you go. My downloading software application just popped up. So Matt's stream that he did, the Secret Vault with Matthew Williams. I guess he streamed it, but then he's going to delete the thing afterwards, so we'll never see it again. But luckily, I downloaded it. And I downloaded it for one reason only. For about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And there's like a good chunk of that broadcast, that the conversation that takes place is phenomenal. So you got this chunk of 2 hours, which is gold. And then here and here, it's just shit. I'm sorry, no. But there's like a big chunk of like superb conversation, which I was desperate to become a part of, but either Matt didn't get my messages, or he was too drunk, or he just didn't want to talk to me. So fuck you. But whatever. Let's see. Jason says, "Sad, isn't it, how big money spoke louder than quality audio?" Yeah, that's true, man. It's crazy because Minidisc, these wonderful little gizmos right here, they came out in 1992. That was when Sony released the first Minidisc player in 1992. And Sony continued to produce players and recorders and physical media until 2005, I think. Around 2005 is when they were like, you know what, we're done. Fuck this. And the main reason why they pulled the plug on it and called it quits on Minidisc was because of, I'll show you. It was because of this thing, this little box right here. This killed Minidisc. The iPod killed Minidisc. When you could you put thousands of songs on this little thing and throw it in your pocket with superb audio quality. This was the death knell. This was game over for Minidisc. That was the end of that. and they pulled the plug on it, and that was that. H. Jasper E says you could record CDs to Minidisc 1-to-1 via Festa. Yes, that's absolutely correct. You can do that. Right here, I have I have to move everything to show you, so I'm not going to. But I have a high-end Minidisc recorder, which is connected via optical cable to a Blu-ray player, so I can throw in a CD and then create a pristine 1-to-1 digital copy of the CD onto Minidisc, and take that wherever. Let's see. Lucifer TV says Matt always forgets about his chat audience when tipsy, and just chat amongst. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't blame him. Matt does great videos. Let's not mince words here. His explore videos are amazing. But I think what people tend to forget about Matt is that before he started jumping through windows and climbing into old buildings and getting up to no good, finding all these places, Matt was a legit ufologist. Like, legit. Let's not fuck around here and mince words. Matt was a legitimate ufologist, and he's met them all. He's hung out with them all. Whitley Strieber, Linda Moulton Howe, you name it. He's bumped into them at one time or another. And Matt and I have had many conversations about UFOs, ufology, and the people that he's bumped into and rubbed elbows with. And let's be honest, pissed off, but he's and crop circles. Let's not forget crop circles. I mean, Matt has been involved in crop circles since crop circles began, since like the late 80s, early 90s. Doug and Dave. Remember those guys? Remember those two mental cases with planks of wood and rope wrapped around their head, going around making crop circles? Matt was heavily involved in that. It's only in the last few years that he's really gotten into the explore and all that stuff, which is great. I mean, his videos are awesome. A lot of fun to watch. And I'm sure, I'm assuming here, but I'm assuming that most of the people who visit his information now, who visit his channel now, do so because of his urban exploring, right? From him going through buildings and the like and so on. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll find that he's been heavily involved in alternate information and truth seeking since the mid 80s and on. Let's see what we got here. Yep, absolutely. Jamie L says amazing and original. The first person. Yeah, absolutely. Matt was heavily involved in the crop circles. Lucifer TV says the man is a mine of information and a total legend, if not a grumpy legend. Well, I would agree in a mine of information. He knows a ton of shit. Very very smart guy. Very knowledgeable. I've never thought of him as grumpy. Maybe Lucifer TV. Maybe you've seen another side of Mr. Williams than I. But yeah, I've never considered Matt grumpy. But yeah, he knows a lot of stuff. So when you go in to discuss a topic with him or to debate him or whatever, do not underestimate Matt. He very much is on his game, and he knows what the fuck is up, and he's well aware of what's going on. Oh my God, we're up to 12 people. 12 people. This is like a record. Let's see. Lee Napper says, "What time of the day do you call this? Morning all." Well, Lee, where are you? What part of the planet are you dialing in from? Which part of this realm of reality are you conscious in right now? I'm saying you're saying morning, so it's got to be like Europe or something, right? You have to be in, I'm guessing, the UK. Because in the UK right now, let me check my time thing. It is 6:32 a.m. Hey, you can switch on the TV, put it on ITV, and Good Morning Britain has been on for 30 minutes. Is Piers Morgan on? Is he yapping about shit? It's probably on TV right now. He said, "Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Britain." He's probably on there right now talking about all kinds of shit that's happening in the world. There's Paul Armstrong. Paul, how you doing, man? How's it going, Paul? Paul is a longtime listener of the Mindset Podcast. Great to have you up and about. Man, you're up early. What happened? Did you shit the bed or what? It's Jason Podmore is right. It is already tomorrow there. So, Jason, if you could text me the lottery numbers for tomorrow, I'd be gratefully appreciated. Jasper says, yes, 7:32 a.m. 7:30. Jasper, where you at? Are you in, like, you got to be in Europe. Are you in, like, France or somewhere? For 7th, that's like an hour ahead of the UK, right? So if it's 6:30 in the UK and you're an hour ahead, you must be in Europe somewhere. So to type in your little thing, say, I am in insert country here, and let me know where you are, because it has to be sometime in the future. Let's see. Paul Armstrong is texting from his flat and motionless plane. Yes, the flat Earth. What do you guys think of the flat Earth? Are they onto something, or are they all fucked up in the head? Be honest. Tell me. Let me know. I think they're all fucked up in the head, but with a provision. The provision is, I also think they're wonderful, because people who are questioning reality to that degree, I think is a good thing. Even though they're way off and they're completely wrong, I think that the fact that they're actually questioning reality is a good thing. Jasper is in Germany. Yes, good morning, Jasper. What's the weather like out there? It's summer. Hopefully it's nice. Hopefully the birds are singing, the sun is shining, and all is right with the world. Here in LA right now, of course, outside it's dark. It's 10:34 p.m. here in LA. It's darkness. It was very hot today. I think it got up to like almost 90 degrees during the day, which can get a little uncomfortable. But you know what? Who am I to bitch and moan? Jamie L. in the chat is from Arizona. And Arizona is another word for living on the fucking sun. Because it is it is ridiculously hot. I remember about 10 years ago I was in Arizona, and I was at a friend's house, and we were in there, and he had a pool in the backyard. And I'm like, what are we inside? Let's go outside. Why are we hanging out? Let's go. So he's like, okay, go outside. I went outside. 10 minutes later, I was like, fuck this. I went straight back in. You can go outside for like 10 minutes at a time. It's way too hot. Let's see. Lucifer TV says, no. He has had a few idiots around him recently, which understandably has made him more of a rant risk. But I think the man is amazing, and I can watch him 24/7. I'm assuming you're talking about Matthew Williams and not Piers Morgan. Am I wrong? Yeah, I think it's Matt. Yeah. My favorite Matthew Williams. My favorite Matthew Williams videos are the ones on his other channel, and I'm not going to tell you what that channel is. I'm assuming you guys already know. Where he complains about stuff. And he just goes on and he goes, hello, Matthew Williams here. And he just complains about shit. And when I'm watching it, sometimes I'm like, yeah, man, you're right. You're 100% right. Fucking tell him. And other times when he complains, I'm like, what's wrong with you? You're out of your mind. You're complaining about fucking nothing. Like literally nothing. So it's a mixed bag. But even though it's a mixed bag, it's tremendously entertaining to watch, as I'm sure you will agree, if you know what the other channel is. I'm not going to tell you. Oh my God, no, Jamie L, please. You're saying it's 99 degrees right now And that's pretty bad when you're in the shower and the cold water. Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. I feel your pain. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Paul Armstrong. Myles Johnson is a hard guest to control for. Yes. Paul, I have to tell you, Paul, my friend, that you are 1,000% on the fucking money. Now, I have to tell everyone, if you know who Matthew Williams is, you probably know who Myles Johnson is. You know, at the Basis Project, Myles Johnson here have a fast blast. You know Myles Johnson. I met Myles for the first time last November when I was in the UK, and I've known about Myles for years, watching him on YouTube, and I've always got the impression that he was a grumpy, miserable fuck, because that's the way he comes across in his videos. He's always got that fucking scowl on his face, and he's always, this is a fast blast, where the fuck, I'm like, oh my God. But when I met him in person, man, was I wrong. Holy shit, was I wrong. What a super nice guy. I was blown away. He was super cool. Great attitude, awesome sense of humor, very knowledgeable, and we got along like a house on fire. It's so weird how, on YouTube, when you watch someone, you get a certain perspective on who you think they are. You see them on videos and live streams, and when you watch something you like them. Hey, this guy's cool, I'm going to watch him more. Or no, I'm done with this guy, I'm not going to watch his videos anymore. But you get a feeling for who they are. And even though I watched Myles' videos a lot, and I did enjoy them, I always got the vibe that he was an asshole, that he was a grumpy fuck. but when I met him, 1,000% opposite. Super, super nice guy. And I got on with him tremendously well. But to add to Paul's statement, I'll put it up again. I've had Myles on my podcast, the Mindset Podcast, a number of times. And I have to admit, it's a challenge. It's a little bit like herding cats, because Myles wants to do what Myles wants to do. And it's a challenge to kind of corral him into the right, where we can actually have a conversation about this and not spiral off and talk about whatever. But having said that, genuinely good guy. Honestly, legitimately like him as a person. Really, really cool guy. And I was really surprised by that when I met him, because I didn't think I would. When I met him, I was like, oh, here we go. This guy's going to be an ass. There's going to be issues. And I was completely wrong on all counts. Great guy. Really, really good guy. What else we got here? We Welsh British. Oh, we love a good whinge, don't we? We love it. We love a good whinge, don't we? Don't we, Lucifer TV? It's lovely, man. Lovely whinge, isn't it? Where are you? Where in Wales are you from, Lucifer TV? I want to know. Paul says, yes, herding cats or nailing jelly to the wall. Yeah, absolutely true. As much as I love Myles and as much as I love talking to him, having him on a podcast is a bumpy ride. It can be a challenge. But meeting him in person was awesome. Who else did I hang out with in November? Oh, Niall Murphy. You guys familiar with who Niall Murphy is? Mr. Opaque Lens. Niall Murphy had been on the Mindset Podcast many, many times. I got to know him virtually. Met him in person. Once again, clicked. Got on great. Super nice guy. Really, really cool. Paul says, that's good to hear about him in real life. Yeah, it's true, man. It's totally true. I think that when you're watching someone on a screen, sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you don't. And with Myles, I got it wrong. Because when you watch him, he looks upset. He looks miserable. He really does. But in reality, he's not. We had a great time. We had a blast. Still up to 12 people. Anyone else want? Whoa, what's this? Whinging is recreational for us, Jason. I like Niall's recent videos roaming the wood. Yeah, he's doing really well. I before he started his YouTube channel, I remember talking to him about it, and he told me that he said yes, I'm planning to do a video every day. And I'm like, whoa, Niall, hey, take a fucking breath here, dude. You're gonna do a video every day? Are you mental? How can you do a video every day? You're gonna lose your shit. But I was wrong, man. He's done it every day. Every day he puts out a video, and his numbers are they're climbing. You know, so I would strongly recommend to some people go check out his channel, Opaque Lens. Yeah, and he gets about. You know, he's out in the middle of nowhere. On the last time he was on the Mindset podcast, I asked him. I said, I can't wait till the weather turns to shit. Niall, I can't wait till it gets cold as fuck, and it's raining, and it's windy, and there's no leaves on the fucking trees, and you're going to be out there like a mental case, holding a camera, filming yourself, ranting about all kinds of bullshit. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. The cinematic quality is going to be off the charts. Let's see. Lucifer TV says, I'm not Welsh. I'm from the southwest UK, near the coast. And gosh, your voice is amazing. Well, thank you, Lucifer TV. I appreciate that. Paul says, a video a day is the hard way. It takes a great... That's very, very true. That's like major motivation. To get your ass out of bed and to go with the camera and film yourself every day, and then go back and plug the SD card into your computer and edit that shit and publish it. That's commitment. That's no joke. That's no joke. That's a real fucking job. That is like a legit job. That's work. That is fucking work. You know what? My hat's off to Niall for pulling that off. For being able to do that every day. That's badass. That's very good. Gary Jones says Niall is getting a lot of exercise. Yes, that's probably very true. He's out and about filming every day. But yeah, no, absolutely, nothing but respect to be able to do that every day. Big time. Very, very, very cool. To echo that, Paul says hard work for sure, no question. What else can we talk about here, chaps? We have 12 people in the channel listening to me. I'm assuming most of you are in Europe or in the UK. I know that Jamie L is in Arizona, where it's 10:45 over there now, Jamie. You getting ready to watch the Tonight Show? And the rest of you, I know we have. What is this? You're leaving? What are you doing? Are you mental? Where are you going? What's going on? She says, good night all. Great channel. I'll sub. I like on my way to see you soon. Okay, fair enough. You got to go. The day's just starting. You probably go to work. You got to make some coffee and get the breakfast going and then jump in the car and drive to... Well, I don't know. Are you driving to work? Maybe with COVID, you're working from home. I don't know. But anyway, thank you, Lucifer. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Paul is saying he's still intrigued by my brother's UFO experience. I am also intrigued by my brother's UFO experience. And there's a lot more to it than actually than what I recorded. There's so my brother still lives in Wales. He lives in Swansea, Wales. Lovely. And he told me a number of years ago, he told me that he had a profound UFO encounter, but I never really had a chance to sit down with him and really like pull out all the details of the encounter that he had. Last year, when I went back to the UK, I went home to Wales, and we sat down. I pulled out my recorder, and I recorded him telling his story. And even though the story that he told during the recording was detailed, and he told it from beginning to end, I wish I'd recorded him in the car the day before, because we were driving to Wales. It was myself, my brother, and Reeves Cook in the car. If you listen to the Mindset podcast or Paratalk, you'll know who Reeves Cook is. If you don't listen to those shows, you're gonna have no fucking idea who he is. But anyway, Reeves is a good buddy of mine. We've known each other for years, and we do a podcast called Paratalk where we discuss all manner of the paranormal. But anyway, we're in the car. We're driving, and my brother starts telling me the story of when he saw this UFO. And in the car, he was very animated, and he was into it, and you could sense the passion in his voice as he was like explaining and this and that, and it was amazing. And then like 3 or 4 days later, I pulled out a recorder, and his name's Richard, and I was like, Rich, come on, I want to record you. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm like, come on, I gotta fucking get this on tape. I want to keep this because it's such a great encounter. Because people watching right now, I don't know what your take is on UFOs, whether you think it's a reality or the ramblings of maniacs. I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. In regard to this story, my brother is not lying. He is 100% being honest and telling the truth. And he relates an incident which is very strange and very disturbing. If you want to listen to that incident, which I'm sure you do now, if you on the Mindset Central channel on YouTube, if you just search in there for Welsh ghost story or Welsh UFO, and it's on YouTube. There's no video; it's just audio. But I made like a little. You can find it. Just look for it. It's on there, or you can go to mindsetcentral.com and search there, and it'll be on there, where you can hear the entire tale. Well, not tale. Tale implies non-truth, but the story of his UFO encounter. But yeah, the second time that he told the story, while it was still factual and it was still honest, it didn't have the passion of the first time he told myself and Reeves the story in the car. But yeah, real good stuff. Paul mentions Sheridan is top class. Now, I'm assuming you're referring to Thomas Sheridan. Please tell me if that's correct, Paul. I think you are. Now, I am not that familiar with Thomas Sheridan. I know of him, but mainly because of Niall Murphy, because I think Niall and Thomas are buds. They're friends, and they know of each other. And I have to say, I am going to contact Niall and see if there's a way to get Thomas on the Mindset podcast, so that we can have like a real in-depth conversation. But before that happens, I really do have to get up on his work and find out who he is and what his deal is, because I don't want to go into it blind. I want to know what his take on reality actually is. But I've heard from many people, from Niall, from Ben Emlyn Jones, many people, that Thomas is a solid dude. So I'm going to try and get him on the podcast. I think that would be a good thing to do. Jason says, statistically, there has to be life out there. Does there? Does there really? Assuming that there is an out there, and that we're not living an illusion. Right? If you think this is base reality, then yeah, you're right. But if it's not, well, hey, all bets are off. What do you think? Paul Armstrong says he's my favorite content provider, as the kids would say, and that's Thomas. So I'm assuming, Paul, you're a big fan of Thomas. So I think you would definitely give us a thumbs up to get him on the Mindset Podcast. So I'll attempt to do that. I think he might be a good addition to the team, so to speak, to bring him in and get him yapping about all manner of craziness. Would you not agree? I think I would. So anything else that we can discuss here? Because I'd love to go on all night just chatting to you guys, but without questions and back and forth, the conversation kind of withers, you know. Oh, here we go, Jasper. When it comes to let me pull it on. It says, when it comes to extraterrestrial intelligence, I'd stick to the STH I once heard about. It sounded like I'd just be stupid to deny other forms of life out there. Yes, I would say that's correct. If your view on reality is that the universe is vast and multiple, and we're insignificant, and life should be everywhere, right? Where there's one, there's another, right? If we truly are on a planet in the western spiral arm of the Milky Way, and then it's logical to think that there are other planets/civilizations out there coexisting with us in the vastness of space. But there are many other possibilities also. Many others. Jason says, we could still be on base reality from our simplistic 3D perspective. Knock that point of the arrow of time and it goes deeper, Spearface. Then we're into transdimensional stuff. Yeah, I can see that. That's a valid point. Doesn't mean that it's real or true, but it's certainly an aspect of what reality may or may not be, depending on your point of view. Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't outwardly dismiss that. By the same token, I wouldn't completely accept it either. But yeah, definitely a valid point of view for sure. Paul says the tragedy of Darth Plagueis, no, the tragedy of Thomas Sheridan, is that he still has a day job, despite being one of this generation's greatest thinkers. I can completely relate to that, Paul. I myself also still have a day job, despite being one of this generation's greatest thinkers. So yeah, I get it. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Gary Jones. Hey, Gary, how you doing? Did you show that pic of the Highgate vampire? I still need to finish your second discussion about it. Yes, I did. You need to watch part 2, and you'll see the vampire in all of its glory. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, Gary. We did. I did show the picture of the undead creature in its casket. So check it out. Lee Napier says, well, are we having Shrouded Hand back on Paratalk? Where's Reeves? I missed that show so much. You got me. Yeah, man. We had Shrouded Hand on the show, what was it, like a month ago, I think? And it was great, but I have to credit where credit is due. That was all Reeves is doing. Reeves mentioned to me, because Reeves and I were both big fans of Shrouded Hand here. We're both big fans of Shrouded Hand. And Reeves was like, man, we should get him on the show. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna email him right now. I'm like, okay, go ahead, email him, and we'll see what happens. You know, me being a big dope, thinking, he's not gonna respond. He's fucking Shrouded Hand. He's gonna deal with two fucking maniacs. He's not gonna bother with us. But dear Shrouded Hand, we are big fans. Please come on Paratalk. Love Reeves. Send. 2 days later, we get an email back. Shrouded Hand here. I'd love to come on the show. So we're like, holy fuck. So we're like, all right, let's go. We got fucking Shrouded Hand in the wings. Let's get this motherfucker on the show. So we did, and it was great. It was great, and we have the honor of the absolute honor of showing the world what Shrouded Hand actually looks like. Because even though Shrouded Hand is a big YouTube star and makes great videos, you never see what he looks like. It's always just his voice and then just like images and stuff. And he'd always start the show. He would go like, Shrouded Hand here. And for a while, Reeves and I were riffing on that. Well, when I say Reeves and I, it was mostly me, but still. And I was like, Shrouded Hand here. And unbeknownst to me, Shrouded Hand, the real Shrouded Hand, had seen me goofing on him, doing that voice. So when we did the live stream, towards the end, I was like, Shrouded Hand, and he was like, I know, I've heard you do it, Gareth, doing the Shrouded Hand. And then I started, and then it was great. If you haven't seen the Shrouded Hand interview, I strongly recommend it. It's on this channel. By the way, you guys, if you haven't already, come on, throw me a frickin' bone here. Hit that subscribe button and the bell and all that bullshit the other retards ask you to do. What else we got here? Paul Armstrong says, yeah, where's Reeves? Well, I'll let you guys into a little secret. So Reeves and I talk almost every day. But because we're 5,000 miles apart, the logistics of us getting together to record the Paratalk podcast and or do live streams is a challenge. And it's not because we don't want to do it. No, we both desperately want to record. We have tons of ideas, and we want to talk about this and that, and we want to do this. We want to do the podcast. We want to do the fucking the live. We want to do all that shit. But because we're 5,000 miles apart in 2 different time zones, and we both have full-time jobs, it's a challenge to get together and to knock out the shows. But rest assured, we have not given up. And for those of you that are Paratalk fans, you do like the show, there absolutely will be new episodes coming out. There's no question. It's not an if, it's a when. So we just need to kind of get our shit together and coordinate the best times to get it all worked out, where we can actually sit down in front of microphones and hit the record button and get things going. It's not only you guys that are frustrated. I'm frustrated too. I want to record more Paratalk, but it's tough right now. But you can always go back through the archives. If you go to mindsetcentral.com, type in Paratalk, you'll find a massive list of podcasts that you can dive into and listen to all manner of strangeness. But Gary Jones, thank you so much for mentioning a recent Highgate Vampire live stream. That was a lot of fun. Big fan of that case. I've always really enjoyed it. For years, I've been into it and poked around in that thing. Even though it all ultimately turned out to be absolute fucking bullshit, it's still an enormous amount of fun, and I thoroughly enjoy the whole story. Any other questions you guys want to throw at me? How many we got? We got 10 people now. 2 people have bailed. They're like, fuck this. I gotta go to work. I don't have time to sit here and watch your dopey face yap into a microphone. I got shit to do. That's what it sounds like. Anything else you guys wanna bubble into. Oh, I do have another live stream which I'll be doing tomorrow night. Not on this channel though. It's a music live stream called Records We Love, and it's all about vinyl records. I collect vinyl records. So myself and my buddy Percy, we talk about records. I'll post a link somewhere, I guess. When that'll be tomorrow night. Any guests for a Bigfoot topic? Gary says. Not really. I don't have any Bigfoot people lined up, although I am a believer. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. No, I do think there's something to the Bigfoot deal. But I don't know what. If you know what I mean. I think there's definitely something to it, but I'm not convinced as to what it is. But no guests as yet. But I could certainly attempt to rectify that, because that is a great topic for sure. The Bigfoot. Any of you guys had any paranormal / Bigfoot / alien / ghost / whatever encounters? There has to be some people that have run into that. Let's see. What was her name again? Jamie L. Are you still on, Jamie L? Or did you bail? Were you like, time to go to bed now? I'm sick of watching you. Or are you still floating around in your 100 degree humid weather? Oh, shit, it's 11 o'clock over here, man. I got work tomorrow too. Can you believe that? Fuck. Isn't it weird how you have all these people on YouTube making like ridiculous sums of money, and they're half a retard? They're like borderline imbeciles, and money's just falling out of the fucking sky for these fools? How is that possible? I don't know. It is me like a big dope who has to go to work and deal with shit, and they're just at home with a camera pointed at themselves yapping. It's crazy. Francis Rowland, do you believe in other life out there? That is a great question. Yes, I do. I do believe other life out there. I also believe in other life in here. In the tagline for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, we are not alone. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I do. How about you, Francis? Francis, where are you located, Francis? What part of the planet are you digging your heels into right now? Are you in Europe? Are you in the United States? Are you, well, nowhere else exists other than those two places, right? I mean, that's it. That's just Europe and America. Everything else is just like, forget it. Because let's be honest, if it's not Europe and America, everywhere else wants to get to either Europe or America, right? I don't know. So where are you, Francis? Where are you at? Gary Jones, where are you located? I'd love to get like a geographic kind of vibe as to where everyone is. I know. Let's go through the list here. So Paul Armstrong is in the UK. Lucifer TV, who bailed, she's in the UK. Gary Jones, no idea where he's at. Jason Podmore is in the UK. Jasper is in Germany. Let's see, Francis, no idea where you are. So let me know where are you guys located. Just type in a country. I don't want your fucking address or anything. Just your location. Gary's in the UK. I've been to a couple of UFO encounter locations in the UK. The Ilkley Mall location, but nothing came close and personal. Francis is in the Isle of Shepley in southeast England, West Yorkshire. And Paul is in Northumberland. Is that Paul? Are you close to where the Crogland Grange vampire did its business in the early 1900s? Are you familiar with that case? I'm sure you are. If you're in Northumberland, Ilkley Moor. Gary says he's from Ilkley Moor. That was that famous photograph of the alien, right? The Ilkley Moor alien. in the moors, the guy saw this creature. He took a picture, and the photograph, you can actually see this little creature, Ilkley Moor. Google it if you're not familiar. Google the Ilkley Moor alien, and you'll see the photograph. Let's see. Gary's in West Yorkshire. Lee is in West Cumbria. I don't know. Is Crogling Grange? Is that Cumbria? Or I forget. But I always remember as a kid reading that story about the Crogling Grange vampire. I think that was it. Is it Northumberland or West Cumbria? It was in that general area of the UK, if I remember correctly. Am I wrong? Correct me, please. If I'm way off, tell me. Yeah, the Ilkley Moor image is very strange. That's very true, Paul. And I do not get the BS vibe from it. I do not get the feeling that it's a hoax. I think it's legit. But what is it a photograph of? That's the question. It's something very strange, but I do not get the BS vibe from the Ilkley Moor alien. Oh, the Cumbrian. Oh, yeah, man. So Lee is mentioning the Cumbrian spaceman. Now, this is an absolute fucking classic. Where they took a photograph of a little girl, and when they took the photograph, there was nothing there. When they had the film developed, standing behind the little girl is a legit spaceman. And it sounds mental. It sounds crazy. You know what I mean? It sounds if someone was to tell you this story, you'd think that they were fucked up in the head. I mean, seriously. But if you do a Google search for the Cumbrian spaceman, you'll see this image. It's world famous. And that's another photograph where I do not get the BS vibe. I think that photograph is legit. Francis says, where in Wales was you from? I was from Swansea in South Wales. That was where I was hatched. Francis's granddad was from Newport. Oh, there you go. Yeah, lovely. Newport. It's great. It's lovely up there, but Newport. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I was from Swansea. I lived the first half of my life in Swansea, and then I moved halfway around the planet to where I am now. But I still love Wales. I still consider myself Welsh, and every time I go back, it's always an absolute pleasure. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Wasn't the Cumbrian spaceman just the girl's mother walking away from the shot? Note the elbow direction. You bring up a very good point, Paul, and I've often wondered about this. The elbow does seem to be as if someone's walking away from the photograph. Well, I'm not convinced it was her mother, because there's so much more to the photograph than just like, you snap the picture of your mother walking away in the background. If you remember in the actual story, they're visited by government officials after the fact, asking for copies of the photograph. If you remember. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. No, I don't think I am. The story itself it's a lot more involved than just the photograph, and they also say that when they took the photograph, there was nobody standing there. So I think there's a lot more to this case than just the photograph of someone in the background. But you're absolutely correct in regard to the elbow. Yes. Gary Jones says, I think the UFO researcher Nigel Mortimer has the inside story on the Ilkley Moor alien. Now, when you say the inside story, what do you mean? Like he knows what's up? He solved it? He knows what the deal is? Or he just has a theory? I'm not sure. Lee Napier says, I think it was Mrs. Templeton. There's some new enhanced pictures that do look like that's the case. The people took Jim out there and left him. Now, Lee, are you talking about the Ilkley Moor or the Cumbrian spaceman? I'm a little confused. It's one or the other. I'm not sure. And I'm looking over here and I see my empty Stella beer glass, which I stole from a pub in the UK. My current beer of choice, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you. I just drank several bottles while I was waiting for Matthew to get his shit together and invite me onto the show, which he never did. Is this 805? 805. I know you can't get it in the UK, but oh my God, it's amazing. Love it. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. Let's see what's going on. We're up to nine people. We're dwindling. People in the UK are going to work. They're like, fuck this. It's Friday. I'm out. You know, people are starting to bail. Let's see. Let's see. In fact, I'm probably going to have to bail pretty soon too, because it's getting kind of late. It's 11:15 over here right now. Any final questions, comments, concerns before we make like a tree and get out of here? It's leave, you idiot! It's leave. Anybody? Bueller? I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have. I've never done this before. I've never done this like solo, yapping into a microphone, looking into a camera. This is the first time I've ever done this. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. Maybe I should do it more often. What is 805 light ale? No, I wouldn't say it was a light ale. The way I would describe 805 is I would describe it in one word, and that word would be delicious. H. Jasper E. says, the last book I've read was 1897 Bram Stoker's Dracula. The thing that got me was that they were able to make even copies on wax rolls. Oh, okay, yeah. I think there's a scene in Dracula where Van Helsing is recording his journal on a wax cylinder, where he's like, "Shh, this is Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Shh, we're on the hunt of the vampire Dracula. Shh," that kind of thing. Yeah, I do remember that. Francis Rowland, sold. Yeah, sold, man. I don't think you can get it in the UK, but if you can, if you are one of those particular people who can hook that shit up, you will not be disappointed. Or if you ever come to the United States, in fact, I don't even know if it's available outside of California. It might not be. It might just be a California brew. But it is phenomenal, delicious, and with all this COVID bullshit where everyone's like stuck at home, I've gone through cases of that shit. I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous. I'm like a fucking mental case downing that bullshit. But it's very, very good. And if you're in the UK, you obviously love beer. And this is a beer that needs to be loved for sure. Oh, I tell you what, a beer that I discovered when I was in the UK back in November. Doom Bar. You guys familiar with Doom Bar? DOOM Bar? Doom Bar. When I was in London, I had several pints of Doom Bar, and it was delicious. It was very good. Gary Jones says, have you seen the Richard D. Hall analysis of the Bob Lazar, possibly being used by the Navy as a disinformation agent? No, I have not seen that video, but I do believe Bob Lazar. I do not think that he is full of shit. I do not think that he's bullshitting. I think he's being honest in what he says. Francis says, love that shit. I'm assuming you're talking about Doom Bar, and if you are, I kind of agree with you. It is badass, and I wish I could get it over here, but you cannot. I told some friends at work about it. I told them about like Doom Bar, and I have, where's my phone? I took some took some pictures of the thing. Where is it at? I got to scroll. I got a million. You know, what you take millions of pictures with your phone. You know, and even though you're taking millions of pictures, fucking 90% of them are just nonsense bullshit, right? Just like crap. But I took some pictures when I went to Tesco's. Oh, here we go. Look at this thing of beauty. I went to Tesco's, and I found the you know, for £4.75 you get, like, is it a 6-pack or a four cans, I think, in a box. And I bought those, and it was great. I wish you could get it over here, but unfortunately you cannot. But I did enjoy that. I enjoyed it in London on draft. Went down a treat. And then when I went to Tesco, I loaded up with some Doom Bar, and I had some of that. But no Doom Bar in the U.S., unfortunately. So I'm stuck with 805, which is not a bad thing because it's delicious. This week's edition of the Mindset Podcast brought to you by 805. If only, you know, hook me up with some sponsoring shit. I would drink that up in more in more ways than one. It was very good. What's his Examore Gold? Francis says, I'm not familiar with that one, Francis. Not familiar, but I'll take your word for it, man. If you're a fan of Doom Bar, this one cannot be too far behind. So yeah, I will keep that on my radar for the next time I come over, whenever that will be, assuming this COVID bullshit is over, and people can happily hop on planes again without wearing masks and getting all freaked the fuck out over this virus shit. So we'll see. But yeah, Examore Gold. I will definitely keep an eye peeled for that, to say the least. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're rapidly approaching the end of this haphazard continuation of the Secret Vault live broadcast that I was desperately trying to become a part of, but completely failed. But hopefully you've enjoyed our little. How long have we been talking? We've been talking for 96 minutes. Are you kidding me? Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and you'll come back to Mindset Central. Shoot on over to mindsetcentral.com so you can check out the podcasts I do each week. Hopefully you'll enjoy those. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have the time and or the inclination. It'll take you less than a second to hit that button. So if you haven't done it already, please do so now. And maybe we'll do this again. I know Matt does impromptu live streams out of the fucking blue, and he gets a bunch of people, and he gets drunk and talks craziness. Maybe we can do like a Californian version of that. I don't know. But don't forget, this coming Sunday, mindsetcentral.com, on the Mindset Podcasts, the guests will be Ben Emlyn Jones and Matthew Williams. So subscribe to this channel and subscribe to the RSS feed for the podcasts. Check it out. And hopefully I'll talk to you guys real soon. Thank you so much for coming on. Have a great Friday and a great weekend and so on. And I'll talk to you all real soon. Thanks for coming on, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a great time. Later.